Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Cole, welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the manager course. We're headed to Argentina. And here we are in Argentina, but not in qualifying one. This is practice we've got the full weekend on now. That includes warm-up as well for the race. I won't show you that. I probably won't participate in it. But I'm showing you a bit of practice, as that's not how we begin. Well, meant to begin. One of our fast laps here. As you can see, we're sixth. Been trying out the soft tyres around here. Also the medium tyres, because Argentina, of course, is one of the few tracks on the calendar where tyre wear will be a huge issue, like we saw at the end of Qatar last weekend, in the last race. So we're trying out all mediums, and now this is soft on the front and medium on the rear. I want to see if there's a big swing in grip. Doesn't feel like it between medium and soft, so I might just go for mediums in the race. Of course, doing soft in qualifying though. You know, we're finding out the sectors where we are pretty quick against our opponents and where they're quick. And it's this sector where we're losing out, mainly because of that right-hander. And you see the run that happens after. But with the soft in the front, looks like we've got too much grip. And the rear's finding it hard to compensate, and it's like, so we're losing the rear end quite a lot. So it might have to be medium for the race, and then soft for qualifying. But we should not be participating in qualifying one now, because we're in the top 10 in practice. As we complete our lap here, not good lap at all, 36.5. But as you saw, we're just trying out different compounds, and so we've got a strategy for the race. So let's return to pit. Let's see where we end up in qualifying, or practice should I say. We're going to end up sixth with our teammate in third, Vinales second, Marcus at the top, Rossi fourth, and Dovi in fifth with Pedrosa, Quattro, Inoni and Lorenzo behind us. So let's see what we can do in qualifying. So here we are for qualifying in Argentina, with all soft tyres on the bike. MacDonald raring to go through the final corner. Let's see what you can do in qualifying 2. Don't have to do qualifying 1 for the first time in MotoGP. It's all about battling with the big boys there. He's guaranteed at least 12th on the grid, so he's already done better than Qatar. But he's got 2 laps here to push. So this first lap might not be his best, but he's always got the next lap to compensate, as that was very slow onto the back straight. He reached a speed of over 210 miles per hour, like we saw in Qatar as well, down that front straight. Insane speeds for a motorbike, which 212 did MacDonald. We're having to break into the right-hander. Just be careful on the power. And this is a sector where MacDonald will be quick in the first half of the race, or first half of that. And it's this sector where he's losing out majorly. The short shifts up. That's it, much smoother on the power through that right. Now into the left. Over the right, that's not really a corner. And then into the left. Get smooth on the power too early. Run wide, MacDonald. Oh, another scruffy sector to end the lap in Argentina. That's a good run through the final quarter. 35.4. That's not too bad. That's right out there the practice times, but of course it's like half a second, I believe, still left on the table for MacDonald. And that's mostly from the second half of the lap. So let's see what you can do in the second effort. Getting that back end doubled out of shape. It's like down the brakes onto the back straight. He's run wide, looking at half a second up. It's just about staying on the bike. That might have ruined his effort though. Let's see. So he heading into the hairpin. And smooth on the power. That Vinales beating 35.2. Oh, just down. Let's continue. Might have lost half a second in that sector, but second after that where he did mess up as well. So if he's right there compared to his previous lap, he can just keep it together. Should be right up there. Oh, but he's lost 0.4 of a second. Through that sector. Much better run though. Through the left. Now into the final corner. Or penultimate corner. Where you should see lots of passing in the race. And through the final corner. Really attacked MacDonald too much. He's trying to get back on the bike, but didn't get the whole lap together. The MacDonald, he's still very good. Should be up there, second, third row at least, but it's slightly better. And if he had a consistent lap, he would have been pole. Instead, it is Maverick Vinales ahead of the teammate. The flying 15 thousandths of a second behind the factory Yamaha, with Marcus in third. Rossi, then MacDonald in fifth. Still very good qualifying in the top five. Both of the riders up there with Dovi and Sip. Then Pedroza leads Crutcho and Iannone, and Zarco leads Lorenzo and Alicia Espargaro on the fourth row. So let's see what the Elusive Twins can do. Can it be another double podium? And here we are looking at the grid, and as you can see, the Elusive Twins have changed their colour number as well. It might be a feature throughout the whole of the season. As you look further down, there's a very happy Alicia Espargaro in 12th. And Jack Miller leads the fifth row ahead of Petrucci and Reddin, the Pramac Ducati guys. You've got Basley in the sixth row, Tisa the seventh, Abraham the eighth. And on the special row is Sam Nose once again.
After a long weekend of preparation, the race is about to start. You could cut the tension with a knife. But all that matters now is who gets across that line first.
Look at that, so much clearer view. The first corner from MacDonald. Not a long run to it though, as he waits for the lights to appear and go out for this 7-lap race. And he's already jumped. Rossi taking down the inside of Marcus. Oh, he's collided with his teammate though. And MacDonald is last. Trying to repeat what he did in Qatar, but can't, as he's very aggressive on this first lap, going very wide though, onto the back straight. Slots in 19th though, with Folger and Petrucci ahead in the slipstream of Loris Baz. And look at that Ducati, got some grunt down this back straight. Oh, and MacDonald's taken out on the Pramacs. Taken out Scott Reddin, is that? The Brits have clashed already. And for MacDonald. Oh, it's Lorenzo. He took out Jorge Lorenzo, did MacDonald. Just collected Scott Reddin for fun. So got Rossi past Vinales for second, but MacDonald got medium tyres on this race. So tyre wear shouldn't be an issue. You can just push as hard as he needs to for the rest of the race. He's very aggressive against the KTM. MacDonald pushing very hard on this opening lap. Too hard. As Hector Barbara down for 13th. As he goes handlebar to handlebar with Alvaro Batista. He's up to 19th. Now looking down the inside the KTM, look around the outside, inside. So many different lines into that penultimate corner. Now for the final one, almost into the back of another rider's MacDonald in 16th, and then it's like, what the hell, the Mark VDS rider just pulled out there. The slipstream as Rossi takes the lead from Marcus. MacDonald back into the point ahead of Loris Baz. So it's Tito Rabat pulling out the slipstream. Very strange to see. And now down the inside the Pramac, and I believe that's Zarco. I think that's Rins as well. No, it's Folger, of course it's Folger then. And you've got Petrucci in 14th. Folger having a poor start to the season. We've got Jack Miller in front on the Mark VDS bike in 11th. And Vinales up to second ahead of Marcus, but Rossi leads, I believe. No, Vinales leads now. Got the flying fin up there as well. Look at that, Miller up into the top 10 ahead of Alicia Espargaro. Great ride in the Mark VDS bike, as Carl Abrams now down on his Ducati. Lots of falls in the opening couple of laps. Of course, MacDonald's contributed a couple of them. And now Marquez past Vinales. So here goes MacDonald pushing, sliding. Looking down the inside of the leash. The Priya just about gives room. Muscles his way past Jack Miller. Got Ian Noni in front in ninth. As MacDonald goes wide through the left. Now's Miller back by. Almost loser position to Leash Spargo. Now breaking round the outside is MacDonald, very wide. But it pays off, he's got the inside line on Miller. Oh, but Miller fights back round the outside, great fight with the Australian. Ian only in ninth ahead. Vinales takes the lead back from Marquez. Donald hogs the inside line for the first corner. Is into the top 10 once again. On this third lap. Not even halfway through this race, already so much action from MacDonald. He's spinning up the rears again. Then onto the back straight. That's a much smoother run. That's much better. Might even get some slipstream off the Suzuki in front. And might have the Nook behind him and Nook down the inside for a dive bombing Jack Miller. That's at the end of the straight as Marquez takes the lead back from Vinales. We've got Pedrosa down in 8th. Behind Zarco. We've got Spargo back past Miller as well. And here goes MacDonald down the inside of Ian Oni. Into the right-hander. A little look at Pedrosa as well. No room there. All past Zarco. That's it, short shifting, much smoother run through the right-hander. Now into the left. Get a good run here, maybe no. Oh, to the inside Pedrosa as the bike's all out of shape. So Pedrosa's looking at attacking Zarco. Being very much held up is the Honda. On that Tech 3. As we're all going very wide into the penultimate corner. Trying to get some advertising into this video. What the hell? And now Zarco's been overtaken by Pedrosa and now MacDonald. 2 for 1 there for MacDonald maybe. Down the inside of Pedrosa. Up into 7th. And oh, Danny trying to take a quick look back in that first corner. Now the dog can see a top 5 in front. You can see all the riders in front. That's all, he takes a very peculiar line into the left-hander. Maybe should have been focusing on the next corner in front instead of the riders. And runs wide. Well, he's got Crotcho in front. Look at those tyres, half worn front and rear. As they're around halfway through the race. That doesn't bode well for the final lap. As Vinales gets back the lead from Marquez. That's Crutcher getting past Dovi. And that's Zarco past Pedrosa as well for 8th behind. As Ducati's around half a second in front. You can see the Flying Fin in 4th. Behind Rossi. Once again losing the rear end. With the right hand to slide in as well. He has pushed his bike to the limit. Even cutting some grass as well. Maybe even cutting corners there. Still half a second behind Dovi. Would have liked to maybe move into the top 5 already. But it's not been the best lap. Much better into the penultimate corner though. Now he is right behind the Ducati man. Gets a smooth run onto the front stretch onto this 5th lap. It's like Dovi trying to make a move on Crutcho. MacDonald does it for him. Down the outside of Dovi, down the inside of Crutchlow. He's up into the top 5 as Marquez takes the lead. Dovi does get past Crutchlow for 6th now. Now MacDonald's behind his teammate. And look at those tyres further away worn now. It's going to be very tough in these last few laps for MacDonald. He's got over a second gap to his teammate in front. Around 3/4 of a second to Dovi behind. As he's going to be battling Crutcho. Looks like the Flying Fin trying to come on strong in the latter half of this race. Looking down the inside of Rossi as Vinales and Marquez once again exchange. Oh, MacDonald down. Just getting on the power. Just loses it. It's down to 10th. He's got Ian Oni in front. Just as he's looking for a top 5 for the podium. He's now looking to stay in the top 10. Once again, Argentine. Argentina just biting back at MacDonald. I had no idea how he lost the bike as well. Just got on the power and the rear end just went. It's finding it everywhere. These medium tyres I thought would be good for the race, but they've been very poor. Bikes all over the place. Tyre wears through the roof still. Might as well just stuck with the softs. He goes on to the penultimate lap of the race, half a second behind Ian Oney. 7/10 of a second ahead of Jack Miller behind. And right behind the Suzuki through the first corner. As Espargaro gets back past Miller. And they're a race-long duel. Oh, the front is sliding for MacDonald as Crutchow's been passed by Zarco. There's now a Tech 3 Yamaha's coming to life. Got Pedrosa in front, almost a second in front, so no slipstream for MacDonald, but plenty for the Suzuki. As here comes Ian Oney in Argentina. It can only mean one thing. Goes slightly wide into the hairpin. Much smooth on the power this time, out of it. As Miller's back past the Espargaro. Also will be battling to the line. And no rear tyre for MacDonald. His final lap in a bit. As Marcus takes back the lead from Vinales. Trying to be smooth through that right hand and not happening for MacDonald. Here comes Ian Oney. Into the left. Just holding off the Suzuki. As you can see, Zarco back down to 7th for a back down on his Mark VDS bike from 24th. Not a good beginning to the season at all for Tito. And all MacDonald losing the rear end into the penultimate corner. You're not close enough to make a move though as you go on to the final lap. And MacDonald's in trouble with these medium tyres. As the Flying Finn does make it back onto the podium in third ahead of Rossi. Smooth on the power for MacDonald. He's trying to catch up to Pedrosa in 8th, who seems to be struggling as well. That's a good run into the back straight. Might get some slipstream off the Honda. Less than half a second behind him. Over half a second ahead of Ian Oney. Brakes heavily into the hairpin. Not quite close enough to Pedrosa. And they get a good run out of it. Oh, he's almost losing the bike. As Miller's past Espargaro for 11th, and look at that, that's MacDonald's chance gone, it looks like. As he goes into the right-hander. Smooth on the power. Short shifting like a hell. Does not want to be sliding that rear. He's doing it into the left. As here comes Ian Oney. He's got Espargaro in 11th, but MacDonald fighting for 9th. To attack on Pedrosa. First half of that, maybe cost him in the second half. He's got no tyres as Rossi gets past the Finn for third at the line as Vinales wins ahead of Marquez. MacDonald holds on to 9th ahead of Ian Oney just. What adventurous race for MacDonald. Way too aggressive in the first half, but in the second, solid pace. Not the fastest that though, as Vinales wins by 0.15 of a second ahead of Marquez, who Rossi just over a second back ahead of the Flying Finn in third. Heartbreak for our elusive teammate in that final corner, with Zarco grabbing a top 5. Very impressive on the Tech 3 ahead of W. Quattro 7th, Pedrosa 8th, MacDonald there in 9th ahead of Ian Oney just at the line. But good job holding on in that final lap to 9th with Espargaro 11th, Miller 12th, Tucci 13th, Folger 14th. Lorenzo recovers to 15th after being torpedoed by the young Scot, with Rabat in last. So in the championship, Marquez leads by 10 points ahead of Vinales. He's up to second ahead of the Flying Finn, with Rossi in 4th, MacDonald down to 5th, already 22 points back of the Honda rider in 12 behind Maverick. And he's just 2 points ahead of Dovi, with Zarco up to 7th, Pedrosa down to 8th, Quattro up to 9th, and Ian Oney down to 10th. ahead of Espargo, Lorenzo Miller, Redding, Petrucci, Batista, Volga and Alex Rins scored a point. 18 riders so far this season have scored points, with Barber the best of the non-point scorers ahead of Baz, Paul Espargo, Tito Rabat, Sam Knowles, Bradley Swift and Cal Abram at the back. As in the constructor standings, it is level between Honda and Yamaha on 45 points. Then Ducati already 24 points back in third, just 7 points ahead of Suzuka, 5 points ahead of Aprilia, with KTM yet to score. And in the teams rankings, the factory Yamaha teams takes back the top spot, just like they did hold virtually the whole of last season. And they're 2 points ahead of the Repsol Honda team, with Elusive down to third, but still just 8 points back. Then Ducati in fourth, Tech 3 in fifth, ahead of Suzuki. Then LCR 7th, Aprilia 8th, Pramac 9th, Mark VDS up to 10th after Miller's great ride ahead of Aspar, with Avintia and KTM yet to score. As a good race from the Flying Finn. Started second, dropped down to fourth in the end. Missed out on that podium in that final corner, but still a very solid start to the season for MacDonald. Horror race for him. Started fifth, but all went wrong after the first corner after clashing with his teammate. While in Moto 2, Nico Andrea from 34th up to second, smashed the race objective again. And Ron scored his first points of the season. Started 14th, finished in 30. Didn't quite achieve the race objective, but good to see him on the scoreboard. Well, in Moto 3, looks like Alejandro, the home hero, recovered after his opening round hiccup in Qatar. Started 5th, finished in 2nd, ahead of the Swede. Started 2nd, finished in 3rd. Both smashed the race objective, and Alejandro improves his braking, cornering and body position. Ron improves his braking, cornering and Moto 2 affinity, as we earned a decent amount of change and reputation. And the end of the episode, we got an activity day, and in the garage, we're not developing anything. As I think our Calyx is now fully developed. Let's scroll along. There it is. Oh no, we've got handling to do. Got some suspension to do. Let's do that. So in 8 weeks, it will be fully developed. Well, in Moto 3, we are using the KTM, of course. Let's develop this bike. Let's improve the engine. And then let's improve the brakes as well. Get that right up there. And that would take 6 weeks for the engine and brakes to improve. So let's end the episode with an activity day. And we could do a photo shoot for 15,000 credits, a technical meet to improve affinity by 10. My campaign, get extra credit bonus for the next race who choose sponsorships by 100%. I'll go to the gym, do some muscle building, improve our riders' throttle control ability by 100 XP. Why not? So next time I'll be heading to America for the only time this season, around the Circuit of the Americas and the Grand Prix of the Americas. Can Dan MacDonald get back on form after a very rough ride in Argentina? And can in Moto 2 Andre continue and maybe even grab a win right from the back in qualifying? And in Moto 3, can our pair once again be on the podium? Find out next time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then.